Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's early April 22nd, and I want to take a look at this recent White House fence jumping. It is the third reported such event going back to September. Third time somebody's jumped over the fence and charged the White House. Let's start off with this CNN reporting. The end of this segment, the reporter says something very interesting.
Secret Service has just named the man who jumped the White House fence last night. They say the suspect is 54-year-old Jerome R. Hunt. He's from Hayward.
I want to point out that Obama will turn 54 years old later this year. 54 is an interesting number in gematria because two of the most essential things in this world sum to 54. They are sun, S-U-N, and love, L-O-V-E, both 54 words.
California. He scaled the fence around 10:25 Eastern last night. He's expected to be arraigned later today. CNN White House correspondent Michelle Kaczynski has a little bit more information on this. Tell us more, Michelle.
Hey, Carol, yeah, we're just finding out those details, at least, about this latest fence jumper. And he didn't jump on this side of the White House in the front. It was around the backside, the south lawn. Was able to get over the fence and was quickly apprehended by Secret Service. We don't know any more about the circumstances, but he was carrying what was at first thought to be a suspicious package, and that was later cleared. And, we know just from looking at the statistic.
The woman reporting right now, True Seeker, has a name gematria of 84. A number very important to Barack Obama, who will turn 54 years old on August 4th, 8-4.
That have come up in the past year because of the fence jumper, remember, in September, who made it all the way across the lawn and inside the White House, that over the last 5 years, there have been about a dozen now people who have gotten over the high fence that immediately borders the White House grounds, and then some 30 others who've made it over the lower temporary barriers. And I mean, it seems obvious to say, but this is why many members of Congress, the House Oversight Committee, feels like at this point in time now, with so many threats facing us, with ISIS, that change is urgently needed to the security around the White House. I mean, all of these incidents, really, almost all of them have proven to be people who were mentally ill, who were trying to make a point, trying to take a stand, pretty much harmless, but of course, the next one might not be.
The next one might not be a curious thing to say, but also at the same way the news is always tempting and putting the worst fears in our mind. So anyway, the numerology of the date of this most recent attack was April 19th, 2015, which has a date numerology of 38, and with the single digit method 22. Universal time when it happened, it was April 20th. It happened late 4/19. This was exactly 7 months to the day of the first reported White House fence jumping that I was aware of, September 19th, 2014. Take a peek at this real quick. That date, again, was September 19th, 2014, a date with 42 numerology. The person who jumped the fence was said to be named Omar Gonzalez, which has very interesting gematria. Omar has gematria of 47, like the word president. Put it together, Omar Gonzalez, it sums to 153. The important number with regards to the Vesica Pisces. If you haven't seen my video post on that, I talk about how that's central to the English alphabet and everything we talk about in this video blog. And then exactly 33 days later, there was another White House fence jumper from September 19th to October 22nd. A span of 33 days exactly. This time it was Dominic Adesanya, which had a name gematria of 74, number of the martyr. Dominic's also a 67 name. Numbers we see coded often. So, in total, True Seeker, it's not looking very positive. Right now, this is the cover page of CNN. This headline is about the protest in Baltimore that's around this numerology of 42 and 33, just like all these other shooting hoaxes. This is for Freddie Gray. Freddie's a 42 name, Gray 24. Put it together, 66. Anyway, they're having protests there over this injustice. And just so you know, Truth Seeker, I know there is much injustice in this nation for all people, but at the pinnacle of that are black Americans who really do get the brunt of it. And they suffer for the color of their skin and oftentimes the economic status they're born into. So they're, they're being tempted by the mainstream media and they're tempting a very vulnerable population. And I think in Baltimore we might be seeing real protests emerge. And unfortunately, these protests are emerging over something that's a fiction instead of the real injustice that they could be protesting over. But the point is Baltimore, Maryland is right outside Washington, D.C., the nation's capital where Obama is. And this headline right here also ties to Obama. We won't stop. This is why they hyphenate what they want you to decode. We won't stop sums to 44 and 53 with the S exception. Obama's the 44th president. He's currently 53 years old. We won't stop. That's the phrase. And we'll see where not stopping goes to at this moment in history. We are being hoaxed, Truth Seeker, one day after another. And each day we let it go on, the worse off we are for it. Please help spread this message of truth. Until next time.